Morning. We often want to be successful and we want to be happy as well. Little do we know that happiness and success are often not synonyms. And nevertheless, there are people who are both happy and successful. You see, when you achieve something, that gives you happiness. And that is also a symbol of your success. But what happens is that over time, if the success in the same task, in the same sphere, keeps on repeating itself, you become habituated to that. And once you fail there, then it's extremely frustrating. And therein lies the tragedy of the most people, that they fail to correlate their happiness with habituative success. As a matter of fact, the achievements are of two kinds, the fleeting and the permanent. In the fleeting one, which is run-of-mill accomplishment, the happiness is always transitory. But if it's a major achievement, that's a watershed in your life, then it's of a permanent nature. And the people who are successful, it has been found by Harvard University, always have four basic fundamentals on which they focus. They focus on happiness because they pursue only those activities which give satisfaction. Taking up a job, any task, as a drudgery, even if it completed, does not give you happiness. You might be successful, but you would not be happy. But if you are doing a job which gives you pleasure, which gives you happiness, even if you are less successful, will make you more happy, then it's achievement. Any achievement which is tangible, which is clear, which is not abstruse, will make you happy as well as mark your success. And the most important is significance. What are your achievements? Are they significant or are they just run-of-mill, as I said earlier? The more significant a task it is, the more significant is the result of that, it will give you much more happiness and much more feeling of success. After all, success is measured by comparison to the other people. And if you have done something outstanding, which makes other people look at you in awe and reverence, that naturally increases the quantum of happiness and the level of satisfaction and success. So that's the most important thing. Then, legacy. What are you going to leave behind? What's going to be the impression of that success? If it does not impact others, howsoever significant it may be, it will not give you much happiness, might be transitory happiness, and that can definitely not be counted as a success. The level of success is always counted and measured in the terms of the level of legacy you leave behind. And as a matter of fact, these are the four parameters which define your level of happiness and success, and by emphasizing on happiness, achievement, legacy, and significance, you can definitely prioritize your tasks which are more significant, which will give you more happiness, and which are going to leave a lasting legacy. And if you can keep these four parameters in view whenever you are taking a task, your level of happiness and your level of satisfaction would be much more than you can imagine. Now, to be able to focus on these four parameters, what should be the attributes of your personality? If your personality does not have those attributes, then you simply cannot focus your attention on these four parameters. First, you have to inculcate in yourself those attributes. You have got to inculcate in yourself those capabilities which would be a means to that end of achieving those parameters and eventual success and happiness. It's like building a road. Unless the road is fully metalled, the vehicle cannot travel comfortably, without vibration, peacefully, and you cannot achieve the result. There's a difference between a well-surfaced road and a gravel road and a dust road. So you have got to make your road smooth. And how do you make the road smooth? First, you have got to be passionate. Unless you are passionate, nothing gets done. But then again, the passion would always go with the significance of the result that you want to do. And passion is also closely related to legacy. If you are passionate about a thing, say Mahatma Gandhi was passionate about untouchability. And see what happened. So your passion for something. Lenin was passionate about removing the inequality of the people. So first thing is your passion. Second, the most important thing is that you should be able to swim against the current. Going with the current is very easy. It's always much more difficult going against the current. And the moment you start going against the current and then you are successful, you would see how successful and how happy you are. Breaking the barriers, overcoming struggles, and yet maintaining your identity. These are the hallmarks of success. You know the famous psychologist, Carl Jung. He said, to be normal is the aim of unsuccessful. It's only the unsuccessful who aim to be normal. So, be prepared to fight the public opinion. Be prepared to break the norms, and then you'll be successful. The third important thing, take up a job and finish it. Do not leave any job midway. That's a sign of incompetence and sign of failure. And if you take up a job and leave it midway, remember, you'll be so unhappy that in future if you take 10 jobs, and even if you complete them, that unhappiness of having left that work uncompleted would overcome all that happiness that might have been yours. And then, be resilient. While resilience means that you are able to, in the long run, learn to make mistakes. I'm not saying learn from your mistakes. First, learn to make mistakes. Unless you make mistakes, you cannot learn from them. And a person who says he never makes a mistake, well, you can be sure he'll never be happy. Even in the failures, you will learn something. Many times give you that happiness which the success may not give you. Make your priorities. The resilience clearly says it's mental resilience as well as physical resilience. And when they correlate and combine together to fuel your passion and give you the ability to swim against the current, then your success is assured. Then another thing is, people normally when their problem is they keep on thinking on that problem. Don't dwell on it. Don't think much about it. Take action. Focus your attention on your emotional state. You see, if you keep on thinking about an issue, if you just keep on mentally thinking about it without doing it, thinking is important, I'm not saying it, but don't dwell on that. Dwelling on a thing is bad. Thinking has a positive result because it smoothens your way to achieve something. And another thing, celebrate other people's success. You see, each person can be successful. There is no difference at all in your success and the success of your competitor. If your competitor is successful and you celebrate that, you are sending vibrations which shall come back to you. You know, it's a karma. So karma's real thing is, as I said, be envious, don't be jealous. And if you are jealous, that's negative. If you are envious, it gives you impetus to do it. So when you enjoy and when you celebrate the success of another person, inside you have a feeling, if he can do it, why can't I do it? I shall do it. And when that concept comes, I shall do it, that is the first step towards successful and towards being happy. Secondly, if you do not celebrate other success and feel jealous, whom are you harming? Yourself. You are precluding yourself from that aura of happiness which revolves around any success. But is that sufficient? No. You have to live outside the box. Actually, when I said go against the current and living outside the box, they're almost connected. Unless you live outside the box. Because, if you're in your comfort zone, the zone created by your environment, by your society, by your lifestyle, then you can never achieve something. Come out of the comfort zone and then face the societal restrictions, break them, and then if you are unhappy or unsuccessful, then it's something bad, but that would never happen. And then, while you are outside the box, fighting against the current, are passionate, keep an open mind. You see, knowledge is always there, and that knowledge is always expanding. Be a sponge to absorb that. Keep an open mind. Now what happens? Which grounds are fertile? Which lands are fertile? Which are able to absorb the rain that's falling. Sand doesn't absorb it. Stones don't absorb it. And that's why nothing grows there. Clay, alluvial soil absorbs water and becomes more fertile. So let your mind be alluvial soil, fertile soil. Adopt, if you don't have it, inculcate the capacity to absorb things. Keeping an open mind will make you feel empathy to the whole world, to all the influences. And then the process of distillation should be there, which influence you want and which you don't want. How can you go against the current if you don't know which side the current is going? And that would be when you have an open mind and you can think at and look at an